Hello, how's everybody doing today? This is Toby with Birdsong Studios, and I know I keep reminding you guys of this, but I'm going to keep reminding you as many times as necessary. It is so, so, so important that we focus on what we want to create. What we want to create. If you're focusing on all the things that are driving you nuts, one, you're giving your power away to those exact things that are driving you crazy. Secondly, you're actually magnetizing more of that to you. And I know that's probably not an a fun message to receive. However, that's the truth. And it doesn't matter on which side of the political spectrum you fall. It doesn't matter what your beliefs and your opinions are. What, as to me, in what I'm talking about here, really, the universe doesn't care. The universe is going to bring to you what you focus on. So your belief could be that the sky is, well, let's see. That's not a good example. I don't know. I can't come up with an example that isn't very specific, and I don't want to get into specific subjects because then that just gets us off tangent. The point is, what you focus on is what continues. What you put your energy towards is what continues. Now, it doesn't matter if you're putting your energy towards complaining about it or celebrating it. Doesn't matter. Whatever you focus on is what you're magnetizing to yourself. And I'm just going to, I had a bit of a meltdown this morning with my higher self and my guides saying, we're all human, and so we all are learning how to do this, right? At the same time, please, please, please pay attention. No, let me rephrase that. Please be discerning in what you're watching, what you're speaking, what you're thinking, and where your energy is. Because those are the things that are signaling and bringing to you your experience in the next moments and in moments in the future. And we're at this momentous point. And I know I've said so many times over the last couple of years, this is a really important time. And they all were, because they're all leading up to all the changes that are really, really coming to light this year in particular. Well, I mean, this is the beginning of it, but we're already seeing huge changes, huge changes. And I'm not talking about political things. Yeah, some political things have to happen to facilitate those changes. What we need to be able to do, or what we're being given the opportunity to do, let me get out of my ego and speak from a higher perspective. What we're being given the opportunity to do is to step back and look at it from that higher perspective, to look at it from the galactic perspective, or the perspective of the higher self, from the divine perspective. And understand that if we want to create something new, the old has to come down. It does, or it's built on a shaky foundation. And the shaky foundation is really what was at the root of what we wanted to take down to begin with. I know I'm speaking in metaphors and allegory, but you guys know what I'm saying. If we want new systems in place, we can't just muddle with the systems that are already in place that we've been muddling with for so many years, hundreds of years, and expect to get a different result. We're all moving to higher frequency states, higher levels of consciousness, higher levels of awareness, and that facilitates the opportunity for us to create something that we have not experienced before. So why are we focusing on the old and keeping it in place? Well, because it's comfortable. It's what we know. And when that comfort is put at risk, that's not the word I want to use, threatened, that's the word. When our comfort is threatened, then our shadow and our ego step in to say, we're not safe. So we must move back into safety. But that is not true. Just because it's uncomfortable doesn't mean that it's not safe. It means it's uncertain. That does not equate with a lack of safety or being dangerous. Might be risky, sure. Risky, though, in what regard? So the opportunity is for us to see that we're on this precipice of a huge change. And we have to understand that getting there, that the change part is going to be uncomfortable. It has to be. We don't grow without growing pains. Whether emotional or physical. Change is hard, and it's worth it. It's worth it. But just because we are at this opportune moment to create what we really desire, it doesn't mean that we aren't responsible for what we are creating. And we aren't responsible for the energies, the actions, the words that we are using. So it's time to get super intentional. Super intentional. You know, I try to stay out of things on social media, and I try to, I observe. I don't interact with a lot of things. Oh, there goes the nose. But I observe reactions from people, not responses, but reactions. And there's so much talk about the chaos and the conflict that's going on in the collective, in the world. There is a lot of chaos. There's a lot of change. Chaos is necessary with change. And again, it doesn't make it bad. My point, though, is instead of making statements that begin with, well, there's so much chaos and conflict in the world, and let's try to do something positive. How about we start with, there's so much love in the world. How about we start with, I'm so blessed to have such amazing people around me. Or some sort of gratitude. I'm so blessed to live in, I'm trying to generalize this. But we all have things that we can be grateful for. We all have things that we can be grateful for. And my human mind wants to go to, like, the suffering and the hard areas of life as an individual, and certainly the difficulties within that are happening on a human level in the collective. Again, and we've talked about this before, I can guarantee that the people who are in the midst of the greatest levels of suffering would probably give just about anything to be somewhere else, to have a different experience. So if we're jumping into that energy and hanging out with them in that energy, we're amplifying that energy. It's not to have compassion for what's going on, but don't add to it, for God's sake. Don't amplify it by adding more focus on it and more of your attention on it and more of your energy on it and draining from yourself. Because your suffering does not minimize their suffering. It adds to the energy of suffering that is in the collective. So if you're not actually physically in that state, how about we send love to them and compassion instead of sadness and fear and anger even? And there's a place for anger, and there's a place for fear, and there is a place for sadness. And it's not to diminish those emotions. It's to come to a place of balance with it and a place of a higher perspective. And recognize that we are at this kind of, I don't want to say pinnacle moment, but it feels like a pinnacle moment of being able to, the energies are all kind of conspiring to bring us this opportunity to create, to really, truly create new earth. And not just talk about it, not just dream about it, but to actually live it. The truth is that's available to us right now. We have to choose it. We have to choose it. So what are you going to focus on? Are you going to talk about the chaos and the conflict as the primary focus? Are we going to complain about things going on that we don't agree with on a political level? Are we going to focus on the blessings and the goodness and the love that are all around us? And even if you're in a situation where maybe you aren't blessed with close friends right now, step outside, because Mother Nature is there. She'll always be your close friend. And her blessings are always around us. There's always something to be grateful for. And it's not just about us. I don't want to cry again. I say again, I didn't post the last video where I cried. You guys get a little... I'm confessing. I was very angry. I was very frustrated. It's not just about us. It's not just about us. I talked about how important it is for us to be teaching energetic tools and how energy works to our kids, to the youth, whether they're your children or someone else's, or children that you know, young people that you know. We're paving this way for them. We're cutting the brush back. Let me take that back. We're cutting the brush back. They're the ones that are going to pave the new path. The young people. And so if we're not going to do it for ourselves, if we're not going to have discernment about our energetic footprint, our energetic signature in every moment, then do it for the people that you love. And I don't usually talk about doing things that way, but we do need to be very aware that we have responsibility. We have a responsibility to ourselves first and foremost, but sometimes in order to get out of our own way, we need to be able to see the importance of our energetic work and our healing work, and again, that energetic signature that we put into every day, the effect that has on the people around us and the community around us, the collective around us. I see it in conversations that my son has shared with me, that he's had with friends, and how the fear and the focus on what's seen as chaotic changes and the separation that is just being driven at an incredible rate, how that impacts kids and their relationships. The things that are being said by us adults, they are listening. The young people are listening. They're always listening. They're paying attention. And we need to do better. We need to do better for ourselves and for them. Look, we didn't come this far. We didn't come this far just to come this far. We didn't do all of this healing and shadow work and work on healing family trauma and ancestral generational trauma to stop now. Come on. Come on. We didn't. We didn't. So no matter what you think about politics, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Be the change you want to see in the world. One of my favorite quotes. It starts with you. It starts with me. It starts with the people next to you. But if we're going to be in fear and be in separation, well, then that's what we're going to get. So what are you going to choose? I don't know about you, but I choose love. I choose unity. I choose compassion. And damn it, I am choosing New Earth. That. Did you hear that? My neighbor has a loud car. Wow, that was really loud. I am choosing New Earth. And nothing stops my certainty in its existence and my ability to live it in every moment that I actually do choose it. And that's not to say, oh wow, that was interesting. Sorry guys. Just me and my weird things. I lost my train of thought, distracted by an unexpected presence. It's not to say that it isn't difficult and it isn't challenging. We are still human, but you have a choice in every moment. So keep that in mind. What are you choosing? And I know I have talked about this a bazillion and a half times, and I'm going to talk about it a bazillion and a half times more. As many times as we need to talk about it. Because this is just so important. It's so important. And if you're really paying attention, you'll see that there's a reason why we're distracted or that forces are attempting to distract us from this belief, this knowing of our power to create. There's a reason why separation is being pushed so strongly. There's a reason why fear is being pushed so strongly. Why it seems to just be getting worse and worse and worse. Well, because it is. You know why? Because we're winning. We're making a difference. So don't be distracted by that. Don't be distracted by that. Again, we have not come this far just to come this far. So consider this your pep talk, your cheerleading talk. Let's go. Let's go. Don't give up now. We've all done way too much work. And it's coming. It is here. It's you will feel it and you will experience it the more that you believe in it and the more that you choose it. Okay. I think that's enough. Sending you guys so much love, compassion, and just love. Just love. All right. I'll be back soon.